Hello everyone and welcome back to the Fish with Matt channel. So today we're fishing down Hayling Island, down Sandy Point as you can see in the background, and we're fishing with our good friend South Coast Angler.
Ooh. Look at this, friends.
Look at this. Oh, he's going to eat a ragworm. There you go, he's not going to eat one. So yeah, we're down Sandy Point, we're giving it a go. We're here on Monday the 6th, something like that. I think it's Monday the 6th, Monday the 5th, there you go. And we're going to give it a good old go and try catch some lovely fish. So we'll go through what targets we're going through for. We'll go through the bait and we'll go through what we've got in terms of rigs. So yeah, I'll go show you now. We'll get cast out and hopefully we'll catch some lovely fishies. Very nice. So me and Dan visited Sandy Point not too long ago and the session didn't go that well. We had dogfish and whiting between us. But we're down here again because the tides are absolutely amazing for it and we're giving it a go. So yeah, we've got 3 rigs on today with the 3 rods. On the first one here, I'll show you in a minute, we've got a wishbone made by our good friend Craig from Sea Weights. And we've got, of course, the Sea Weights pink weight down there. I've got my own pulley pennel here. I need to get on to Craig back getting some pulleys from him. That's actually just a pulley, no pennel hook on this one. And that's with another Sea Weights weight, of course, the boy. And then we've got a 2-hook flapper down here, my lucky flapper, which caught me that lovely place down Brighton. And the Sea weight. So yeah, on this bait here, we have got a lovely twice frozen squid and ragworm wrap. So yeah, that's been frozen twice. We'll get that chucked out and see if we can get anything on that. Over here, we've got squid whipped onto the 2-0 flapper. And then on the wishbone rig, what we're going to do is we're going to get some lovely ragworm from our good friend George, who digs it in Portsmouth Harbour area, and get lovely, nice rag put on there for a flatty. So yeah, it's winter fishing, so it's going to be a bit difficult, I'd imagine. We're going to give it our best shot. So targets today will be flatfish. There's going to be some dogfish and whiting, I would imagine. A ray would be nice. I think there's still smoothhounds about, pups probably, so we might be able to catch a smoothhound if we're lucky. And then we're not targeting bass because you're not allowed to until, I believe, after March now. There's the bass ban, but it doesn't rule out the fact they might bite our bait. We're not targeting them, but they're going to be out there. So yeah, let's get these chucked out and hope for some fish. I just quickly want to show you all the beauty of this rig that Craig, Sea Weights Craig, has made to me. So this is a custom one. He hasn't yet got this on the shop, I don't believe. So yeah, handcrafted 6 of these for me in different styles. This one is the up and over style one. You've got the old Trident bit up here to get your line. You've got a nice spring there. And down the bottom, you've got a nice little bit for your hook here to clip down. So there's 2 hooks on the wishbone, obviously. We've got the pop-up beads. We've got some stop beads as well here. And then on this one, instead of having a swivel, he's got a knot right there connecting the 2 hooks to the line, which is lovely. So yeah, we've got a nice up and over one for a bit of extra length. So that's going to be near the bottom, but off the bottom away from the crabs with these pop-up beads. So that's a really nice rig right there. Obviously I'm going to have Craig's link in the description, so we've got a bit of, you know what I mean, going on at some point in the coming future. So yeah, big thanks to Craig, sweet as a nut. Lovely job, let's get it cast out. Right then, so we're going to try something different, I think, with our videos. We're going in the right direction. That's the wrong rod already. I feel like I'm going in the right direction with my videos and stuff, and they've been doing really well with the YouTube algorithm, so I've got you lot to thank for that. But I'm going to try and put timestamps in the video. Get that clip down. Timestamps down the bottom right of the video for what time it is during the day, so you can see the difference in clip length, what time I catch a fish, that sort of time in terms of the tide and stuff. We'll also put a picture of the tide for today on the screen. So I'll either put that up now or at the start of the video. We shall see, but yeah, we'll go for our first cast. We'll go through everything you need to know about Sandy Point because Dan's a bit of an expert, and of course I said we're fishing with Dan. There's first cast. And it sounds like my ratchet's on. It was, oopsie daisy. Did that last time, should have checked. But there you go, sweet as a nut, we're out. Gonna let that leg sink a little bit. And we'll reel it in a second. So, the only time that you can fish down Sandy Point really is on a neap tide from the low tide up, which is what we're doing today. I think it's going from a bottom of 2 meters at low to just a little bit over 3, I think. So this is the perfect tide to fish Sandy Point. I said I'll put a picture up on the screen of what the tide is. And the surprising thing is, it's only me and Dan down here today. So, have we got onto a spot that people don't know about that well? Maybe. But yeah, we're giving it a go, and we are getting bites on that ragworm bait, my friend. So we'll have a check on that in a minute. Here we are then, everybody. So first cast, we're getting those little bites. And it was a whiting, unfortunately. But he's a pretty good size, and I've got a bucket with me. So I reckon I'm going to keep this one for a live bait. So yeah, happy days, we caught our first fish. It's not a blank. We're going to use this one as a live bait. Look at that, lovely size. Right then, without further ado, let's go through the baits we got today. So I've got myself 2 pound of ragworm from our good friend George. Half of it is going to Dan, which is £1/2, and then we've got the other £1/2 pound here. And it turns out he's given us really small stuff, which is great for the flatfish, obviously, which is amazing. We've got another £1 in the bag over there, which I'm going to be using on Wednesday for a different session, which is good news. We've got a wrap here of black lug. See if we can get these out. So yeah, we got, they're meant to be packs of 10, but we got 12 in here. I think they're a little bit smaller. So that's always nice to see the tackle shops doing that. I don't generally buy black lug, but Dan was getting some, so I decided to chime in this time. We've got some twice frozen mackerel heads there. We got some dead whiting there. We got some Joey mackerel that have been twice frozen as well. And I've got some other Joey mackerel. We've got sand eels. We've got, I think these are sardines. These are sprats, these ones. We've got some squid. These are, who are they called? Sam squid, processed by our good friend Andy at Baits R Us. So that's all very nice. Yeah, a load of this stuff has been frozen twice, which is a bit dodgy. But there you go. It's a bit stinky, which is probably better. But yeah, plenty of bait. Way too much, really. And then, oh yeah, I forgot about this. We've got the boy down here in the bucket. Look at him, there he is. So we may use him as a live bait at some point. So with about 20 knot winds today, I was not expecting it to be this flat, to be honest. Look how flat calm it is. Look at that. That is beautiful. If it was nice and summery out here, there was no wind, I'll be in here swimming. But look at this. This is the main thing. Look at how crystal clear that water is. That is insane. Genuinely, look how beautiful and blue that water is. It's like being on holiday in Spain or something. Absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's good for flatfish. So fingers crossed, might be able to pull out a flounder, maybe a plaice, maybe a turbot. But yeah, probably a plaice or turbot is the best one. Flounder's not muddy round here. So I've just done a bait change on the 2-hook flapper with the squid on that we had whipped on there, and the squid were completely stripped with just elastic left on there. So what I've done is I've cast that one back out, and I've done that closer in. So that's probably about 10 metres out, or 15 or so. So that gives us another chance. We've got 3 rods obviously, so putting it at a bit of distance is good, and then having one close in is good as well. So we'll give that a try. We've also been getting some bites again on the wishbone rig, so we're going to bring that in a minute. And then the big bait needs to be changed soon as well. So I might put a squid and sand eel or a squid and sprat wrap out on that one. Hey, look at this, everybody. So the wishbone hasn't caught a flatfish, but it has caught a bass fish and a whiting fish. Look at that. So we'll get these unhooked, and I'll put them in the bucket for a bit, have some more friends. Obviously the bass is protected, so maybe better off getting him back straight away, which we'll probably do. So yeah, happy days. We caught a bass. Got to get him back though. There you go. So we've got a not so happy whiting, and we've got that lovely bass. So as I said, gonna go put him back. Literally only been a minute since I put him in the bucket. Just making sure he's okay. Lovely job. Should be able to see this one swim off as well, with how clear the water is. Look at that. Oh dearie. We're good, we're good. He'll be fine. Dan's laughing. Oh no, I caught him. So here we go then. Let's get Mr. Bass back. Off you go then, buddy. Lovely job. Look at that. He didn't even bolt off. He's just chilling. Off he goes. Billy Bass. Happy days. Well, everybody, so a bit of advice if you do come fishing down here, other than the fact you've got to be fishing it on a neap low tide up, is the fact that when you're fishing down here, the water at low tide is about 40 foot deep, Dan reckons. And at this spot we are, there's a green post out there, and that is a really deep spot. We drifted over there, feather fishing, and it was insanely deep. We're not even that far off the beach. But what you got to do here, a bad habit that I've picked up when fishing off the beach, is where there's no current coming through a lot of the time, and a lot of beaches, I cast out and then I hold the line when I walk in and slowly let it go out to keep my line nice and tight all the way down. But if you do that down here, then the chances are you're either not going to hold properly or you're going to get caught in somewhere where the fish won't be. So what you want to do is cast out, let a bit of line out, let it sink for about 30 seconds or so, and then start slowly reeling it in, and you should be able to hold bottom. But yeah, just don't reel in too quickly and make sure you let it go down to the bottom and sit, because I've definitely missed out on a lot of fishing opportunities by reeling in too quickly. So that big bait's been out there for about probably 45 minutes or so. Just brought it in and look at that. It focuses. Absolute mess. It's like, what, down to the tiniest little bit left. That bait was 5 times the size of that. So yeah, go put out another decent sized bait. I might do a squid and sprat wrap, like I said. We'll do that. We'll give that a go, my friends. We'll give that a go. But yeah, there you go. There's the other bait. Mental. Right now, everybody. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to bait up this squid and sprat wrap. So if you've never watched my videos before or live streams, you'll know that I'm very fond of this tool here. It's called a bait mate. B8M8 is how they spell it. And it's a great tool for making wraps when you're fishing. So there you go. So we've got our little sprat here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the tail and cut the head off. To be honest, it's the first time using a sprat, so just like any other fishery, isn't it? But it's all down to how you want to make your own wrap. This is how I do it. So what I'm going to do for this one, for a ray, is cut the sprat in half because they're quite big. So get rid of that half, and then we've got a nice little squid here. Any brand will work, but I'd probably stay away from baby squid. If you see baby squid, I probably would not go for that. So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm cutting these squids in half as well. You don't want a too big a bait for a ray. Get rid of the scissors now. And what I'm going to do, this is where the bait mate comes in amazingly well. Going to get that bit of squid, lay it down the tapered end of the bait mate like that. As you can see, it's thicker up here and it tapers off down the bottom. And this is where you can make a bigger wrap, which is great as well. Put in my little strip of sprat in there, get some bait elastic, which I always lose. If you watch me, you'll know that I always lose my bait elastic. Always got a couple in my box just in case. And yeah, what we're doing is lightly wrapping it. This is fine bait elastic, and I'm just lightly wrapping it around the bait like that. If you do it too heavily, then the bait won't come off for one, and if it does come off, it'll be all squished up. So it's got to be careful when you're doing it. So you don't want too much elastic, something like that. And what you would do is slide it off, and you've got a lovely little compact bait right there that you can go whip onto your hook. I'll show you how I whip it onto the hook, and we'll get that thrown out, my friends. Here we are then. So this is also a perfect example of how I can show you how to get a bait like that off your hook as well. So a lot of people will just try to shuffle it around and get it off the top of the hook. But what I like to do is make sure that your line is going straight down and you know where the hook of the eye is. What we want to do is just go down that length down there with your scissors, cutting through all of the bait elastic, and the bait should just simply slide off. Lovely job, there we go. So that cuts out a lot of the faff. Just got to get just excess bits off. But happy days, we've got a clean hook again. So what I do for baiting up the sprat and squid wrap, or any other wrap, when using a pulley rig, is I put the hook through the firmest bait first. So for this instance, it's the squid. So we go about halfway through the bait there, taking the bait up to there. We got the eye of the hook about a quarter of the way into the bait there. And what I do is, again, gently whip it on. Otherwise you'll squish the bait, the softer stuff, if you're using a fish. So if you're using a mackerel, if you whip it on too hard, just going to squash the fish out of the wrap basically. So you just want to be gentle, get enough around the eye and enough around the top of the hook. And there you go. We got a nice, well-made bait there. Hook is pointing out, so the fish is going to get caught if something takes it. That's the idea at least. Happy days. Here we go then. So I'm going to show you the strategy that I was talking about for casting out and letting your lead sit. So as you can see, I'm just about to cast out with the old multiplier rod. What I might do for this one, as a clip down rig, is lay the lead on the floor and cast off the floor with a multiplier, just to get a bit more accuracy and a bit more distance potentially. Definitely got that distance and got a good bit of accuracy as well. So there you go, we've cast out, and I forgot to put my thumb on the reel. That's all right. Just want to let your weight go down. I'm letting the line go out at the moment. Gently. And just let it sit there for a bit. And after about 10 or 15 seconds, you're all good to start reeling in slowly till you can feel the line becoming more taut and your rod bending into the line as well. So there you go, we've got it nice and tight there, not too tight, I don't want to rip it out of the floor. A nice bit of bend in the rod, which will show you, and happy days. There you go, so we're clearly gripped into the ground, we've got a nice bit of bend on the rod, which is this one right here. So happy days, we've got that nice little compact ray bait out there. Let's see if we can get into one. I don't think there's many get caught down here, but I don't see any reports down here, people fishing anyway. But yeah, we're giving it a go. We're going to get the other baits changed in a second, and we'll see if we have any fish on those. I don't know if I said already, but I brought the flapper that was in close in, and the strip of squid had been completely destroyed. So now what we do is we've got two of these little sprats on each hook. One on each hook, obviously. I'm going to get that chucked out. We shall see, my friends. Alright everybody, so next bait I'm going to show you how I'm going to bait up is a Joey mackerel on a pulley rig. So we've currently got that ray bait on a 2.0 hook, and I think we're moving up to a 4.0 now. So yeah, I'm going to show you how I bait up my Joey mackerel. So what I do is get the hook like that, I'll get it just in front of the fin on top of the Joey. We feed it through just like that, put it down a little bit. I normally try and have the eye of the hook just at the top of the head right there. What next want to do is for baits like this, bigger baits for Joey mackerel on normal mackerel and big squid baits, is you want to use some heavy bait elastic, because obviously that gives you a bit more strength when whipping the eye of the hook on, as well as the rest of the hook. If you use fine elastic and you try to put it too tight, it's obviously going to keep snapping on you. So that's why I use this stuff. You can get packs with medium, fine and strong bait elastic online, and obviously in tackle shops you better pick it up. So yeah, we've got the hook nicely put on there, and then what I do is I get the line nice and straight towards the head, stick my finger and my thumb in the eye holes of the fish just so it stays nice and straight, which makes it easier to hold basically. And we whip some line onto the top of the head just to make sure that the bait stays on and doesn't go up the hook length. So yeah, there you go, got that nicely whipped on right there. I get my scissors and cut the tail off. That will stop it flapping in the tide, or at least that's the idea of it. Some people like to cut the belly and guts out, so what we're going to do is going to cut from the bum tube, make a little cut down there, and then I like to cut the gills, but we'll do that in a minute to let some more juice out. But yeah, cut the gills just before we're about to send it out. That's happy days. But there you go, we got a lovely Joey mackerel baited up, and that's how I probably had it when I caught that tope on the boat. So yeah, lovely job. So it's now coming up to 3 o'clock, and to be honest, not a lot has happened really. I think Dan's probably had 3 whiting and a smaller bass than I had, and I've had I think 2 or 3 whiting and that little bass. But the baits are coming in stripped a lot of the time. I put out the limpet on the flapper, brought it in and they were still there, so I put a bit of squid on the tip and chucked that back out. There's no action yet on the Joey mackerel, unfortunately. That's a bit of a stab in the dark, but you never know, there could be a nice ray or a conger about. And then the ragworm baits continue to get stripped every time they go out. So yeah, we're just keeping up the cycle of changing the baits every 20 to 30 minutes, just to make sure we got a nice fresh bait out there. And obviously, with the way it's going at the moment, actual bait out there. Well, it's 3:30 now. I just had one of those feelings. I was reeling in the wishbone, and I felt quite a bit of weight on it. So I was like, oh, this could be interesting. Kept reeling it in, and I started feeling like a fish was fighting. I could feel like a sort of banging, sort of, you know, moving ahead sort of fish behaviour. And when I noticed my other rod had gone slack. So it turned out I brought in my other rod, and it was just the other lead bouncing up and down on the floor, making it seem like a fish, which is yeah, that sucks. That could have been a good fish if it was a fish, but obviously it wasn't, but there you go. But yeah, it's 3:30 now. The tide's coming up a decent amount, and the tide's starting to pull now. So that's what, about 3 hours after the low tide, the tide's starting to pull. So it's always good to tell you guys this sort of information if you do start planning to come up to this sort of place fishing. But yeah, I'll keep you posted, obviously, as always, if we do get any more fish. Well then, so obviously some smaller fish are going to have a go at this Joe mackerel just for the sake of it. But we had a bite and a good old pull down on this. I left it for a bit and nothing. But look at that, the back half of the Joe mackerel has been bitten off. Wondering if that was a conger or something else, I'm not sure. But yeah, I had a good old pull on it. Bit sad the fish didn't come in. But what we're going to do is we're going to get another Joe mackerel on and try it again. Hello, dangler.
Go away, leave me alone.
What have you just caught, dangler?
A red crab. A red shore crab.
And what other sort of crab, my friend?
In my pants.
Come on, what other crab?
Not telling you, it's a secret. Watch my video.
Watch Dan's video. Okay, fair enough. We'll leave it at that. Dan's had a red shore crab and he's had another crab. I've had one of those down here many a time, but
spiny lobster.
Yeah, mate. It's not looking too good at the moment. Obviously, we've had a bass each, which isn't bad. I'm not targeting them, obviously, because there's the ban at the moment.
That is.
I'm not targeting them. What are you on about, boy? But yeah, it's coming in up to what, about 4:10 now. As I said, the tide is starting to rip through, and we're planning on fishing till about 5. So I've gone for double sand eels on the flapper, put some more ragworm out, and I'm just going to leave that mackerel out there as well and see if anything happens. But yeah, there's still potential, my friends, but with the tide coming in and the tide starting to rip through, it makes it a bit difficult to fish. But yeah, we're giving it a go, eh? Giving it a go. So this is where a good session ends, my friends. It ends on the pub. Don't get through this very often because we finish normally 12 o'clock onwards at night. So finished at 6. Happy days. Down the pub, innit? Get it? Shoo. There you go, everybody. There we go then, guys. Thanks for watching. Slipped out another one. Shoo.